before we understand what is cloud, why it is cloud, so we'll take an example. Okay. For example, I want to host an web application uh, in a traditional IT data center. So what will be the approach? Okay. So for example, I'm hosting an e-commerce site. So it's called like abc.com. Okay. So I'm hosting an e-commerce website. So first I need or required a hardware, means computing machine. Okay. With some like hardware requirement, for example, 8 GB RAM with 500 GB storage. Okay. So I need to buy this hardware. Okay. Then I have to configure this hardware with operating system, with like some like web configurations, and then I can upload the website on this server. Okay. In traditional IT data center, it took much time. Like it will take like 15 to 20 days to uh, deploy the application on machine. How? First, you need to buy the machine. Then you need to set up the machine by operating system or some configuration files. Okay. Like if you buy the machine, you need to install the operating system called Windows, and then you need to configure the IIS for deploying the application. Okay. So that took a much time, and or during that time your business like suffered. Okay. First, second thing, if suppose you hosted the application, now you feel that you required a more capacity, you required more uh, RAM, you required more storage. So what you will do, you have to go first. Then if you need to scale your server, you need to stop the server, you need to like increase the RAM size or hard disk size. Okay. So that during that updation or scaling, that application is in stop mode. That means your business suffering on that time, or you lose like your client, you lose your customer who are using your application. Okay. So that is a one drawback of data center, traditional IT data center. Okay. Second is uh, like for example, you have increased the size. Okay. You already increase the size. You have 16 GB RAM and you have 1000 GB storage, but you're not utilizing that. You're not utilizing fully. You are only utilizing, for example, 8 GB RAM or 100 GB storage. So that also your loss. That's also include in your loss, because you have buy the machine, for example, from any provider. Okay. With like 2 lakh rupees or whatever it is. Okay. And you're not utilizing fully. So that is also your loss. Okay. So that's some drawback, you can say, or disadvantage of IT data center. To overcome that, we we are come up with some solution that's called virtualization. That called virtualization. What is virtualization? So you have your machine. Okay. Here What virtualization do? Basically, virtualization create a virtual machine on your single hardware. Means this is your physical hardware. By using virtualization or by adopting virtualization, you can create a multiple virtual machine on your physical hardware. So with the help of your virtualization, you can run or simultaneously multiple machine with different operating system. So think like you have a two requirement, one for abc.com, one for xyz.com. Means you have two product. Okay, if you want to deploy these two product in a traditional IT data center, you need to purchase two server. But with the help of virtualization, and the second requirement on this, like you need to deploy abc.com in Linux server. Let me write it here. This is for Linux machine, and xyz.com for Windows machine. This is your requirement. Okay, this can't fulfill in a physical server because you have two requirement. One for means two requirement means two project. Okay, one for abc.com, second one for xyz.com. Okay, abc.com required to deploy on Linux server, and Windows xyz.com is required to deploy on Windows server. So this two requirement we can't deploy it on single server. We can't fulfill with a single physical server. To solve this problem, or not, it's not a problem. You can say it's uh like a requirement. Okay. So here virtualization will help you. How is it? So you can create a multiple virtual machine with different operating system in a single physical machine. Okay, means you're running a Linux here in this virtual machine and Windows in this virtual machine, and you can deploy your application as per the requirement. Okay, so virtualization is enabled by hypervisor software. You guys know already, like VMware or VirtualBox. Okay, hypervisor, that tool called hypervisor tool means VMware or VirtualBox. Okay, so slowly we move to the virtualization, but there also in a virtualization also have some like disadvantage. What are the disadvantage of virtualizations? Okay, the disadvantage are like it not not disadvantage, you can say. For example, I want to access this machine. I'm sitting in India and I want to access this machine from USA. So is it possible here? No. So for that you need to connect your machine with internet, and Now I can access your machine remotely through internet. Okay. So, but you don't have only have a single server. You have multiple servers here, full data centers with virtualization, with physical hardware. Okay. And you are accessing this machine through internet remotely. That's called a technical definition. Cloud computing means you doing a computing in a remote machine. Computing means you're processing your data, hosting your data, or using the computing capacity which is located on different location through internet. That's called a cloud computing. Simple definition. Okay. In cloud, you have a cluster, like there not only a single server, there are multiple servers. Okay, like there are network of a servers and which you accessing through internet. That's called a cloud computing. Okay, how this cloud computing word or uh, came into the picture? See, there are a big companies uh, like Google, Microsoft, and many more. Okay, they have their data center, large data center to keep the data of customer. Okay, so like in a different place they have their data center. Okay, so Google or Microsoft think like they can, if they are shared their resources with others, like machines or other resources, hardware resources, with the others, like with the other with their customer, like any company. Okay, from from there this cloud computing word, or you can say cloud computing tradition, start, because they are sharing their resources with you to store the machine, to create the machine, to store the data, to process the data. You no need to do anything, just you need to provide your data to the your provider. The provider can be Amazon, Azure, like Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so from there this cloud computing word started. Okay, so let me just give you a demo, like how we can use our Azure. Like I'm going to set up a machine with a web application and expose to the internet. Okay, so this is your Microsoft Azure portal. This is not the right. Let me download that. Hmm. Actually, I have a multiple accounts, so I'm just checking. Okay. So this is your Microsoft Azure portal. Okay. Suppose if you want to launch a machine to deploy an application, it is very simple here. One more like benefit of cloud computing is pay as you go. Means whatever you're using, till when you're using, you have to pay for that only. Like for example, you're using you created a machine and you use for a 1 hour, so you have to pay for a 1 hour. Okay, that's called pay as you go. You no need to no need to first purchase and then use. Here the concept is first you use, then you pay. Okay, means pay as you go. So I want to deploy an server and host an application. So for that, I need to create a virtual machine here. Okay. Okay. You have to provide the name, a demo. You can here select the image, which operating system you want to deployed. So I'll select a Ubuntu, and username to log in into the server. Okay. It is asking for a port, which port you want to enable on for a server. It's like a firewall setting. We'll discuss later. So just demo. What are the firewall? What is the firewall and how we can configure? We'll discuss later. Okay. Next, disk configuration means your storage configuration. You can add here storage. Okay. Networking, like to access the machine, you need a network. Okay. So you need to provide that details here. Okay. Rest details, uh, leave it as it is. See how simple is it? You need a virtual machine, you need a machine, you just go and click, your machine is ready. But if it is compared to the traditional IT data center, first you need to purchase the machine, means hardware. You need to configure that machine. You need to install the operating system. You need to configure that operating system. Then you can configure your web application exposed to the internet. So that will take like more than 15 days, okay, to live your web application. But here it is very simple. You just go log into your portal, just go and create machine, okay, and just log into the machine and deploy your application. Okay, we have to wait for 4 to 5 minutes here. Till then, we'll discuss on okay. Till then, we'll discuss on deployment. Okay, so there are three types of deployment. One is private cloud. Second one is public cloud. Third one is hybrid cloud. Okay, let's discuss what is private cloud. Okay, so what is private cloud? Simple. A network. Cloud means a network. Simple. Cloud means a network. Okay, so this is your rack. Okay, server rack. Under the server rack, you have multiple machines. These are the multiple machines. Okay. Okay, these are the multiple machines. Okay, and this is connected to your private network, means your on premises network. Okay, this is your on premises network. For example, this is your on premises network. Okay, which is not accessible from the internet, which is not accessible from the internet. That call private cloud. Simple. A network which is not accessible through internet, that called private cloud. First. Second thing, private cloud also called like you have set up your data center with your with a VMware or Oracle virtual box, or you using OpenStack. Okay, to for your internal network. Okay, for your internal network, that's called private cloud, which is not exposed to the internet. That's called private cloud. Okay, let me, if you want to access this network, you can't access through internet because it's not exposed to the internet. Okay, this is your internet. If you want to access this network, you can use VPN or lease line. Okay, that's called private cloud. Okay, I'll take one more example for private cloud. For suppose you're running a bank. Okay, and bank have a different branches which is located on different location. Okay, and this is your headquarter, HO, and this is branch 1, branch 1 and branch 2. And that's how these two branches connected with HO headquarter. Okay. So they're using their internal network. Internal network means they are connected with a lease line or VPN because they don't want to expose their network to the internet because of security reason. So this also called a private cloud. It is also a network. It's also called a private cloud. Okay. So this is an example of private cloud means a network which is not exposed to the internet. That's called private cloud. Second, public. Public cloud. So public cloud, nothing, a network which can access through a internet. It's called public cloud. Simple. A network which is accessible through internet called public cloud. So this is your network. Okay. Under your network, you have a multiple machines or multiple resources. Okay. And these resources can accessible through internet like this way. It's called public cloud. Okay. The third one is hybrid cloud. What is hybrid cloud? Combination of private and public. So I'll take an example. You have application, a three-tier application. Okay, three-tier application. So for three-tier application, you need a three computing machine. Okay. So all these are connected like this way. Okay. This is your front end. Back end. DB. So what you did, you deployed these two server in private cloud. You deployed these two server in private cloud and you deployed this server front end in a public cloud. Okay. So because we are accessing your website, okay, so we need a front end to be located on public network. Okay. And these are the server where your logic process. Okay. And this is for your DB. So this both I keep on the private cloud or called private network, and I keep this in public network means public cloud. So this called a hybrid cloud. Combination of private and public is called hybrid cloud. So okay. So these are the three deployment model, not service model, deployment model. Okay. Okay. So any query here? till now? Any doubt? You guys can ask. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask.
No, it's clear.
Okay. Thank you. So let's check. Your server is ready. Yes. Your machine is ready. Okay. This is your machine. Your Ubuntu machine. So first I need to log into this machine. This is located. This machine is located. Okay. See, it's located in East US. Okay. And I'm accessing from internet. Uh, I'm accessing from India through internet. Okay. So git bash. How I can access through SSH. SSH is a protocol which used to remote remote like a machine, okay, which is located on a network, a different machine. Okay, so SSH use port number 22. So let me access this machine. SSH now, username. Okay, no, sorry, not hyphen I, because I'm not using key file. I'm using a password. Okay, so showing like timeout. So we can here troubleshoot why it is timeout. So we need to check a firewall setting here. Okay. So what is firewall? Firewall which control incoming and outgoing, you can say communication or traffic, where by using firewall we can control that, like incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay. So go to the networking. The port number, let me add. See, port number 22 is not added here. Okay. So I'm allowing the port number 22. Okay, this will take 2 minutes to impact. So they see they are inbound and outbound. So you can control both here. This called network security group. Okay. Okay, it's let me try once more because to take like 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get impacted. Okay, we'll wait. Yes, it's ready to use. Now asking for a password. Okay, so I'm into the server. This is your Ubuntu machine. Okay, now I want to install a web server here, which is Apache. APDF and get install Apache 2. Okay, now I need to deploy an application. So let me download any simple application, HTML. Let me check. Okay, let me download. Okay, HTML website download template. Okay, so how can uploaded this zip file into the server by using FileZilla or WinSCP? Okay, you can use that. So here can put the IP of the server. This is the public IP of the server. Okay, username is Sheikh. Yes. Okay, so I can just drag and drop the zip file which contain your application. See, this is your zip file. Let me unzip it. Okay, so I don't have unzip software here, package here. So let me install that also. Okay, so it's unzipped. Okay, so I just need to copy the content of this directory under slash var triple w html. Okay, and one more thing I need to do to expose to the internet this application. So I have to go to the firewall setting and I need to enable port number 80 also here. So add inbound rule. You have to wait for 1-2 minutes to get impacted. See, your application is deployed. Now I want to open this website by some domain name. Okay, for example, uh, I have some domain name. Let me log into here. So how you can integrate server IP with domain name? So you need to buy a domain from any domain registrar like GoDaddy or Hostinger. Okay. Our website quite slow. Okay. So I have some free domains here. Okay. So these are some free domains I have for demo or practice purpose. So I'll use this cloudha.tk. Or else we can use other, let me check. Let me use this one. The site is slow. Okay, I need to verify that. Okay. Okay. Go to the DNS. What is DNS? Domain name system. Hmm. See, here I need to add a record, DNS record. Okay. So this is the server IP. And I want to open my application by using domain name, not with the IP. And save the changes. So we have to wait for 5 to 10 minutes to get publish. Okay, so record has been added. We'll have to wait. This is your domain name. So we have to wait for 5 to 10 minutes to get publish. Okay. So that's how you can use cloud services, okay, on Azure. So till now, any query here, you guys can ask. No? Any query? Okay. So let me give you one more example, or like many people are asking like what is difference between web hosting, web-based hosting or cloud-based hosting. Web-based means like you guys using GoDaddy or Hostinger to host your website. Okay. And what is the difference between web hosting provider or cloud hosting providers? So simple difference, like web hosting providers are the, where you have to purchase a space. Okay, capacity. First you have to purchase the capacity, then you have to deploy application, then you can use it. Okay, but in terms of cloud, as per your requirement, you can deploy your resources, deploy the application and use, and then pay. Okay, so till when you using the resources, like for example using for 2 hours 3 hours, you have to pay for that only. Okay, but in the web hosting scenario, you have to purchase for server or like shared space or dedicated server. You have to pay full, and then you can use it. It doesn't matter you're using or not using, you have to pay for that. Okay, but in the cloud, if you're using, if you want to only test something, or if you want to use for a 1 hour or 2 hours, you have to pay for that time only. So that's a basic difference. Okay, there are many difference. For example, in a cloud, you will get a many services or many type of uh, resources. Okay, services called like for AI service or machine learning service, or for automation, you getting lot of things on cloud. But in web hosting, you're getting only like web hosting facilities. Okay, okay. See, so your application is deployed with integrated with domain name also. It's very easy to use cloud. Okay, so that's all from my side. If you guys have any query, any doubt here, you can ask.